I was 21, recently became a police officer, and was also recently dumped. So my friend suggested Tinder. As a 21-year-old and a new cop, I had the I'm invincible and I can take on anyone mentality. I matched with a very good-looking, out-of-my-league female. We chatted and eventually set up a date to meet. She said she had a great open field to look at stars and hang out, and we could meet up at our house. So the night came. I was excited, and she seemed to be excited when I picked her up. She guided me to the field, and it looked nice. Open space, woods, deer, and other wildlife. In the field, I noticed really dim headlights in the distance. Then, the van started driving towards us and pulled up in front of us, almost close enough to block me from going forward. I told her to stay in the car and I'll go say hi. I grabbed my flashlight I had in the car and walked up. In the front driver's seat of the van, there was a decently sized man. I asked him what's going on and if he can back his car up a little bit. He was very polite, said he was the owner of the property, and said he didn't mean to scare us. He told me he's been having trouble with poachers on his property, and just wanted us to make sure we weren't going to be shooting at anything. I assured him that we only came out to look at some stars and wildlife. He was perfectly okay with that, told me to have a nice date, and drove away. After that, the girl was texting non-stop. Around an hour later, I saw headlights coming up towards us again, this time at a really fast pace. We hopped in the car, and I moved it to a more defensive position. The same man came close enough to almost hit my car. She hopped out the car and at that point ran towards the guy. I immediately knew I was fucked. I got out and gave them commands to back up and get on the ground. Neither of them complied, obviously. He then proceeded to charge me and knock me to the ground. Luckily, I was able to get him on his back and get up. I saw my date grab a metal pipe from the van. She told me they had a gun and to give me my money and truck and I wouldn't get hurt. Of course, with my I'm invincible mentality, I said no. She started to cry and saying that they didn't want to hurt me. He then started to go back towards the car. At that point, I told him I was a cop, drew my concealed firearm, and to lay on the ground. After a moment of shock from all of us, they complied. I was able to call 911 and tell them my name and badge number. I had two at gunpoint, and I need backup immediately. I gave our dispatcher the best directions I could to this field. While on the phone, they both fled. Again, stupid new cop, young guy mentality. I chased him. I took off after the man, who ran into the woods around the field. I chased him for about 30 seconds until I heard three loud pops and saw a muzzle flash. My I'm invincible mentality went right out the window. I ran like hell back to my car and peeled the hell out of there. I went back to the area I picked her up in, called dispatch again, and had officers come to that location. Of course, the first officers to pull up was my sergeant and my field training officer. Of course, they were both completely understanding and didn't give me any shit about it at all. The most used words were dumbass and stupid fucking rookie. I hopped in their car and went towards the field. Luckily, the van was still there. I was told to shut my mouth and only come out if they start getting shot at. They cleared the area and started looking in the van. They found meth right on the center console and searched the car. What scared me the most was when my field officer and sergeant came back to the patrol car, let me out, and told me to come look in the back of the van. Both of them were pale and looked horrified. I went to the back of the van, where there were several knives, duct tape, lighter fluid, a decent amount of rifle ammunition, handcuff, and what looked to be dried blood. In the front passenger side, we found an AR-15 style rifle and 2 more handguns. We called for immediate backup and detectives. When they investigated the blood, it turned out it wasn't blood. The plates had been stolen, and the van was reported stolen. I still get shit about the whole encounter, but luckily no one got hurt. I will never use online dating again. Ever. I was around 10 or 11 when this happened, and I was home alone. The doorbell rang while I was watching TV, so I hastily moved my bowl of cereal and got up to answer the door. It was the mailman who said we had gotten a package, but it was so big that he needed help carrying it. Something felt off about him, as he wasn't wearing a uniform, but a dirty white shirt and jeans. I asked him where his truck was because I didn't see it parked out front, and he said it was around the corner, and to just follow him out to grab my parcel. He kept telling me to go with him, but I politely said I wasn't feeling well, and that we would just get our mail from the post office. He said how much of a hassle that would be, and to just go out and get it then and there. I said I had to go get my shoes on from upstairs, and he waited outside. I locked the door and bolted upstairs, closing all the windows. I called my mom to come home and explained everything. The man was still outside and he shouted at me, asking if I'd gotten my shoes. I replied that my mom was coming because she's much stronger and could help carry the package. Once I said that, he was quick to run, and I never saw him again. They never caught him, and hoped that he never lured any kids and tricked them into going near that van. Dear fake creepy mailman, let's not meet again.